So, in order to begin, I would like to note that Horizon Europe is the biggest research and innovation support program in the world, offering more than 100 billion euros for the years 2021 and 2027. Of course, the next program, which is going to be announced after 2 years, is going to have a even higher budget. But the important thing is that Horizon Europe is open as well to countries outside Europe, such as Ecuador. Horizon Europe involves opportunities for individual researchers who are either interested to visit Europe in order to conduct research in a European institutions, as well as opportunities for organizations from research institutions and by universities from Ecuador in order to host European scientists. On the top of that, there are opportunities under the second pillar of Horizon Europe for consortia, meaning teams of scientists from Europe, Ecuador, and other countries who are interested to collaborate in order to implement a research and innovation program. And as we said, there are three different pillars, and there are opportunities in many different thematic areas. The first area, which is related to Horizon Europe, is health. Then we have culture and inclusive society, defense, information communication technologies, climate, energy and mobility, food, bioeconomy, and nuclear energy. In general, the highest budget is allocated to information and communication technologies and environment. Regarding Ecuador, so far Ecuador has taken part in three framework programs of the European Union. The first one was FP7, the second one is the Horizon 2020, and now the last 6 years we have Horizon Europe. In general, in Horizon Europe, Ecuador has a success rate of about 15%, which is a success rate which is not bad, I have to say, and through its participation, we usually see that the participants are higher education institutions and in some cases research organizations and public bodies. Overall, we see that the most successful organizations in Horizon Europe and in FP programs in general for Ecuador are the Universidad de Cuenca and the Pontificia Universidad, which have managed to receive more than 1 million throughout the years. And I have to say that in each project that Ecuador participates, in average, we see that its participants receive around 100,000 euros per project. Now, the highest interest on behalf of Ecuador is for Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, which is the thematic priority that has to do with exchange of researchers who would like to visit Europe in order to conduct research in a European institution, for example, postdocs. And we also see high interest in the sector of food and creative industries and inclusive society, social sciences in general. And as you see here, we also have very high interest in the field of health, especially things that have to do with cell biology, human rights, e-health, and others. Now, regarding the participation in Horizon Europe. Horizon Europe is addressing to research institutions and organizations, universities, public institutions, for example, ministries, small and medium enterprises, non-governmental organizations, and others. So all these entities can take part on behalf of Ecuador in Horizon Europe, and they can take part either as beneficiaries, meaning that they receive directly funding from the European Commission, or as subcontractors, meaning that they receive funding from the partners who are participating in the project, or as associated partners, which means that they do not receive essentially funding. In the framework of projects, different elements, deliverables can be produced. For example, through a project, someone can deliver scientific papers, patents, policy reports, software, and others. And the costs which can be covered by the funding provided through Horizon Europe are salaries or costs in order to buy equipment for laboratories, or even consumables and funding in order to travel in another country and attend a conference, for example. The funding opportunities which are available in Horizon Europe can be found in the funding and tender opportunities portal. So if you search in Google for funding and tender opportunities portal, you'll find the website on which all the calls for funding, for calls for proposals are available. As well as in other documents with the name work program. For example, here we can see a call which has as deadline the February coming, and this call is addressed to scientists who are interested in soil health. So this is related to agro-food, and in these types of actually calls, it is usually required to involve scientists from Latin America. So as we say, we have they have a specific target which implies that partners from Latin America have to participate in this project in order to be successful. This does not mean that Ecuador cannot take part in other types of calls, but it means that usually in the specific calls which are tagged with Latin America, the European scientists do have to incorporate in collaborative projects scientists from the region. How does a call look like? So in a call, you might find, of course, the budget. So how much money will you receive, usually as a consortium, by taking part in such a project? The deadline, of course, the description of the topic, so what it is required to propose, and if the actual project is one stage or the actual proposal process is one stage or two stage. So in some cases, you have to submit a preliminary proposal, and if it's successful, to continue with the application of with a second application, with the submission of a second proposal. And it is probable that in some cases, not only one proposal is funded, but many proposals, and the number of proposals that will be funded depends on the actual budget of the call. So after the proposals are evaluated, the successful entities start receiving funding until the budget is finished. And here I also would like to say that funding is provided for ideas which are less mature or more mature. For less mature ideas that have a low technology readiness level and they are not so close to the market, the funding is 100%. For less mature ideas, the funding rate is 70%, and this means that the 30% of the funding has to be provided by the beneficiary. In general, when reading call text, somebody should be very careful and identify what exactly is required, and one can an organization from Ecuador offer in this, because since in many cases the projects are collaborative, some partners might be able to contribute to specific parts of the scope, the project scope, and other partners might be able to contribute in other areas. And of course, we have to keep in mind that the proposals, the evaluators compare and contrast among the different proposals that they read. And under this framework, when something exists in one proposal and something and it does not exist in another one, the evaluators are going to put lower score, and this means that the whole process is very competitive. So that's why, as I told you, the success rate is around 15%. The overall process is that you submit proposal, it is evaluated, and then you sign a grant agreement with the European Commission. In general, the grant agreement has to do with the relationship that you will have with the body that provides the funding, and besides that, you also sign an agreement, a consortium agreement with the other partners with whom you submit a proposal, on which you can agree about issues that have to do, for example, with intellectual property rights and who will keep them after the project ends. Because this is a very sensitive issue. Now, in terms of organization, generally, each project is organized under a work breakdown structure. And this means that it has work packages and tasks. In general, the project is managed by a coordinator who is also responsible for writing the proposal in most cases, and the work package leaders who are allocated to manage smaller chunks of work. Usually, the coordinator and the work package leaders are those who receive higher proportion of the budget. So this is something that should be taken into consideration during the negotiation with the other partners. Now, how does a proposal look? A proposal consists of an administrative part on which you have to declare a few things, such as, for example, the legal name of your institution, your VIT number, your address, etc., and a technical part on which you actually describe your ideas. The excellence part is composed by three distinct parts: the excellence, the impact, and the implementation. In the excellence part, which is almost the 1/3 of the proposal length, the proposals can be, in order to let you know, from usually 10 pages or 30 pages to 70 pages. Most proposals are around 50 to 70 pages. So the 1/3 of the actual proposal is the excellence, on which you have to describe why the idea that you propose is state of the art. So why is it better than what already exists in the market? In the impact, you have to discuss what impact is going to have your project in the economy, in the environment, in the society, etc. So this is the other 1/3. And finally, you will have to discuss in the implementation part what type of activities you will be implementing. In general, when evaluating, excellence, impact, and implementation receive 5 points. So the best score that you can receive is 15 in most cases. Nevertheless, if you fall below 3 in a specific part, for example, impact, your proposal will not be evaluated, will not be considered for funding. I'm sorry. Now, in terms of partner search, so we were discussing that in many cases, in order to take part in European projects, you have to find partners. So how do you find partners? Of course, in many cases, the scientists who are best in their field and well networked have the chance to be approached by others who submit proposals because they are top in their field, so they receive invitation. In case you do not have the chance to receive an invitation, which is usually the case for us that submit projects as well, a networking process is needed through conferences, for example, participations in past projects, or through the use of certain tools which are provided by the European Commission. So if you are interested in about a specific call, which is published in the Funding and Tenders Opportunities portal, under its call, you might be able to find advertisements from people who also interested to submit a proposal under the specific call, and they are looking for partners. So the first partner search mechanism is through Funding and Tender Opportunities portal. The other search engine which is available is the search engine of Enterprise Europe Network. You can find the link here. I assume that the presentation will be disseminated to you, so you can click this link if you wish, or receive support from the national contact point colleagues, dear Kevin, whose contact details may be found in the Funding and Tender Opportunities portal under the section Support. In general, depending on the field of your expertise, different national contact points exist. For example, there are different experts, national contact points for health, different experts for social sciences. So you might have to address to different people depending on your interest, who might be able to support you in order to find partners, or you can also take part in networking events organized by the European Commission. And these events might be physical. Many of them are organized in Brussels, but also if you are not willing to travel in Brussels, there are also several networking events that are conducted online. So this is an event that is going to take place on November by Poland. So if you want to find partners from Poland in order to take part in European projects, it is a good idea to register in this event so as to be able to conduct meetings online, present what are the advantages of adding you in a consortium, and discuss the possibility of collaboration. And also other events besides this, which is going to take place now shortly in 1 month. You can also take part in the networking events organized by the European Commission in parallel with Info Days. Info Days are events during which the European Commission presents the opportunities that exist in a specific sector, for example, food and bioeconomy. And of course, there are always, just to refer this, there are always opportunities if you wish to search for partners through social media, LinkedIn. There are several groups, or Google. So if you Google the name of a call, you might be able to find partner search advertisements which are available. Or something that I would like to note here as well is that there are opportunities under the Cordis website. You'll find the link here. In Cordis website, you might be able to find those who have taken part in previous projects, so they are already experienced and intend somehow to apply again for Horizon Europe. So getting in touch with them is another good idea. Now, after finding, let's say that you find partners, the next thing to do is to discuss with them how you are going to be involved in the project. So what you are going to do exactly, what tasks you are going to undertake, what budget you are going to receive, etc. In general, the one key component that you have to discuss is how many months you will dedicate in the project, because depending on the number of months that you will dedicate, you will receive the respective salary. So this is a key issue to negotiate. How is the salary that somebody who is working in a project is extracted? It is related to the rate which is applicable for your organization. And this means that you cannot ask whatever salary you want, but your salary must be comparable to the salary that is received by the other persons who are also working in your organization. Uh, and other factors that you might take into consideration and think about is that you might be interested in keeping the equipment that you will use, for example, laboratory equipment after the end of the project. So this might be something that you can negotiate, or you might be interested in undertaking a specific task because it is important for your field. So the salaries are important, but there are also other things that you can negotiate about. In general, after you negotiate and discuss all these details, you will have to submit a proposal. The submission is conducted through the funding and tenders opportunities portal by the coordinator. Usually the coordinator, in order to find you, you'll have to issue a PIC number. So they will ask you to create this number in order to be able to identify you and add you in a consortium. Each organization does have a unique PIC number, and it is important to have it in order to be able to participate. And if the proposal is successful, you'll be receiving a notification in the contact details that you have declared there about the success or not success of this project. I don't know. I think that we are on time. This was my presentation. If you have any questions, I am available for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George, for your insightful presentation. Now we will now open this section of Q&A. The participants may share their questions or comments either in English or Spanish. For this segment, we have the support of our colleague from the Language Institute, Orlando Lizaldes, who's gonna help us with the translation if it's needed. So, para esta sección tenemos la posibilidad de que puedan plantear preguntas o comentarios, y si hay necesidad de hacer la traducción al inglés, tenemos el apoyo de Orlando, del Instituto de Idiomas de la Universidad Nacional de Loja, para que pueda comentar esto con George. Entonces, más bien, abrimos el espacio en función de las preguntas que pudieran tener.
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Nando.
Adelante, Joseph.
Sí, okay. Congratulations for presentation. My group is LAC. My group in United National University of Loja is Consorcio LAC, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. And Europe is Italy, Irlanda, Bulgaria, Romania. One axe. One axe is the how can we um, Then on the seat, the propose or how can we upload on group of the seat? How do to invite partners and upload my offer? Okay. I already answered that it was a road international cooperation, Kevin. Quiero preguntarte, Kevin, que a través de ti pude entenderle a la presentación que puedo subir la propuesta en el sitio a través de cooperación internacional, ¿verdad?
Podemos subir específicamente anuncios específicos en el portal de Funding and Tenders. Se puede hacer, esa es una opción si es que quieren, digamos, dar a conocer la iniciativa.
Pero como propuesta propia no se podría hacer, sino que es a través de cooperación. A eso me refería.
No, de hecho lo puedes hacer, pero el tema es que ya si entra en la negociación formal se hace a través de los enlaces oficiales. Entonces, digamos, en una comunicación más informal lo pueden hacer. En estos Info Days o en los eventos que hay de difusión, uno puede inscribirse de manera particular.
Ya, ok. Una pregunta para el profe. One asks, the group of country, the number of group of country is 9, 10.
Okay, George, I think the question is there any specific number of participants in the proposal?
Thank you for the question. In general, the number of partners depends on the budget of the proposal. So, if the call offers a lot of money in order to be allocated to many different partners, then you might have many of them. For example, there are proposals that might have 50 or 60 partners, but on average, we have around 10 partners. So this is the average. Um, if I may add something, sir, you discussed previously about some partners that you have from Europe, from Romania, from Bulgaria, as well as some partners that you have from Latin America. Of course, these people might be used in order to take part in a project, but you should always have in mind that you should cover the specificities, the requirements of the call. So if you can cover with this team that you propose the issues that are required by the call made by the European Commission, then you can of course collaborate with them. If you cannot cover the requirements, maybe you should search for other partners, because in the evaluation process, the evaluators do also judge how well formed is your team. So the partners which are selected must be carefully be put in the consortium. So it's not always possible to add people that we know. It depends on the case. Thank you.
Ok, en
Okay,
forma
thank you.
general, bueno, no sé si requieren una traducción, pero en forma general voy a dar los puntos importantes que acabo de decir. El grupo de participantes no está segmentado a un número específico. Pueden participar entre 50 o 60, dependiendo del financiamiento que se tenga para el proyecto, pero en términos generales, el promedio de participación en los proyectos, en los consorcios está en 10 participantes. Pero lo más importante que hay que tomar en consideración es que ante la propuesta, los requerimientos deben ser cubiertos, y la segunda cosa es que el personal o el número de participantes que vaya a cubrir el proyecto deben estar bien preparados.
Thank you. Because we work with a group of 10 countries, 3 countries like Latin America and Caribbean, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru, and 7 countries Europe. They call 3 security civil. The subvention grants $4 million, 4 million euros. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It is possible to incorporate them as long as they fit in the consortium. Thank you for the yes, for the question. Can I also say that I saw another question about funding which is provided for mental health. If I may answer this, indeed, there are opportunities for the health sector under the health cluster. Nevertheless, in some cases, might be funding opportunities and call under other clusters. For example, somebody might submit a proposal for the mental health under the information communication technologies cluster. So if they want, for example, to create a software for supporting this. Somebody should have in mind that there are different domains that they can apply to. It's not strictly defined that all the health-related opportunities will be in the health sector. And of course, we have Marie Sklodowska reactions, which are horizontal. So this means that you can apply in any field that you wish. This might be mental health related, this might be archaeology, this might be whatever you want, and this has to do with exchanges. So staff exchange. So in the staff exchange scheme, you can apply in whatever topic you like. In the schemes through which you have to collaborate with others, there are specific calls that ask you to solve specific challenges, and you should propose something which is related to this, if I may say so.
Okay, George, one of the other comments, I don't know if it's specifically a question, but it says here, how can we make as Ecuadorian our proposals attractive for the European Commission?
For sure, I would say that you should pay attention to the calls which are focused, which are tagged for Latin America. So there are specific calls in which the partners from Europe should include somebody from Latin America. And if they are not going to be from Ecuador, they are going to be from another country. So why not incorporate scientists who are in your country? So this would have been an advice, I think, so for collaborative projects. So for Marie Sklodowska reactions, in which we have exchange of researchers, it is a different story. So there are actually issues that they have to do with your CV, for example. They are going to see in which papers you have publications, how competent you are in your field. So in exchanges, they see things like this. In collaborative projects, it mostly has to do with your network and the targeting of the proposals which are uh, related to your field, and the success rate is not bad, I have to say, comparing to other proposals. So 15% of the proposals submitted are successful. So in terms of European funding, this is considered good. Thank you.
Ok, haciendo una pequeña traducción de los puntos importantes ante esta pregunta a los participantes que se encuentran aquí. George acaba de decir que para hacer más atractivas las propuestas hay que tomar en cuenta tres pilares, ¿no? Las fechas en las que salen las propuestas, porque en Latinoamérica solemos pasarnos de esas fechas y no tomar en consideración para hacer bien la propuesta. Segunda, que se tenga un apoyo, sobre todo en nuestros países latinoamericanos, no únicamente de nuestros colaboradores, sino buscar personas y colaboradores europeos. Ayuda muchísimo a hacer más atractiva la propuesta y en ese buscar las alternativas y los participantes en nuestros proyectos, pues seleccionar bien a los participantes para tener un alto porcentaje de aceptación. Me parece que Clara Viteri está pidiendo la palabra. Adelante.
Hola, buenos días. Voy a hablar en español, por favor, para que me ayuden con la traducción.
Creo que sí.
Mi consulta es la siguiente. Nosotros pertenecemos ya a un consorcio con una organización italiana, con SHISP, y nosotros mantenemos actualmente o formamos parte de un proyecto en el marco de Horizonte Europa. Quería saber si existe la posibilidad de postular a un nuevo proyecto, aunque el proyecto que tenemos está vigente. Gracias.
New project, although the
Okay, George, the question here is there's a group of Ecuadorians working already in an ongoing project with an Italian consortium. The question is if there's any way or possibility to launch or to make a new proposal if we are dealing in one proposal already. It means that working maybe be involved in two projects at the same time.
Yes, for sure, this is possible. And usually when you have formed a collaboration with European partners under a project, usually this group tries to submit other proposals as well. So it is pretty normal and usual to run two projects at the same time. There is no problem at all. Thank you.
Ok, para nuestra participante, George acaba de decir que si usted está trabajando ya en un proyecto con un consorcio italiano, no hay ninguna restricción en la Comisión Europea para que usted pueda involucrarse o participar en un nuevo proyecto. De hecho, es una situación normal y tranquilamente puede estar vinculada a los dos proyectos al mismo tiempo. See, we have another question. Yes, we have another internal question. George, please, in your view, what are the main institutional capacities that universities in countries like Ecuador should strengthen to successfully participate in Horizon Europe projects?
Well, the whole idea has to do with actually how well somebody can fit in a project. So when you have a specific call requesting specific a specific thing, then it is how well you fit to this. So the first thing to consider is how well you match with the context of the request made. And the other thing has to do with how with your capacity as scientists. So how good scientist you are, and sometimes it is evaluated. Some people evaluate if you have taken part in past projects or not. In a consortium in general, if you have taken part in past projects, it might be considered good, but in general, it is also evaluated if you involve new and more experienced and less experienced partners as well. So in some, it is not essentially a drawback if you have not experience with Horizon Europe yet, because consortia might be interested in involving you in this in order to show that they have a variety. But the most important thing is to show that you are a good scientist and that you can have a really good complementary role in the proposal, in covering the challenge, the question that it is required by the proposal. For example, I can give you an example. A proposal might require, for example, that you create a car, which is a call might require, for example, that you create a car which is which does not have a lot of emissions. If you can say that you have the capacity to produce something like this, then you are a good match for the project, if I may say so.
Thank you for that answer. Thank you very much. I think we have another question from Felix Paladines, and I think you mentioned a little bit about the databases, but anyway, the question is, are there any specific tools or databases that facilitate the identification of European or Latin America partners with experience in Horizon Europe projects?
The partner search tools, as I told you previously, when you have interest about a specific call, so you search on the funding and tender opportunities portal, you find the call that you are interested in, and below that call, all those who are interested in submitting a proposal for it are putting their CVs and their experience below the specific call. So it is always suggested that if you are interested about something like this, you always express your interest because below the call. For what reason? Because when somebody wants to find a partner who is relevant, the first place to search is going to be this. And the other thing that I would advise you is to take part in in matchmaking events, online bilateral events, such as those that I have presented to you, in order to be able to discuss with European counterparts the possibility of taking part together in a project, so to negotiate with them. So these are the two things that you should start with. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your answers. I don't know, Kevin, if you have more comments or questions, please.
No, me parece que alguien más había levantado la mano. Yo no veo. No, no tengo más comentarios o preguntas. Veo que ahora está Mateo Oleas. Adelante, por favor.
Muy buenas tardes con todos. Sí, quisiera preguntar si tal vez es posible ver la grabación de esta presentación. Buena tarde.
Sí, como parte de la diseminación enviaremos las presentaciones y la grabación a los que estén registrados.
Muchas gracias.
Adelante, Miriam.
Buenos días con todos y todas. Mi pregunta es la siguiente. Quisiera saber qué temas son de prioridad en cuanto a la salud mental para la Unión Europea y para poder afinar proyectos en ese sentido. Gracias.
Okay, I'm gonna make the translation. I think we have a
I would like to know
So the question is basically that our participant would like to know if there's any kind of mental health priority for the European Union to get all the possible and well-established guidelines to present a project. So it's basically on mental health.
Yes, there are some opportunities for mental health, depending on what activities you would like to implement. So if you are interested in implementing a software about mental health, for example, there are opportunities under the information communication cluster. If you want to produce papers related to mental health, I would suggest to take part in Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, cost actions, or in some cases, even though it is not related to Horizon Europe, you can also have a look at Erasmus. So Erasmus is another option if you would like to consider it. But the truth is that the most calls, because of the priorities of the European Commission, are related to other topics, for example, cancer. If you were telling me about cancer, there were many more opportunities. In general, if I were in your position, I would search mostly for ERC, which is actually a scheme supporting individual researchers, or Marie Sklodowska-Curie Actions, which is a scheme supporting actually staff exchanges. In terms of collaborative projects, unless you have to provide something tangible, for example, a software, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't advise you to give a lot of, to pay a lot of attention to Horizon Europe, in my opinion.
Y vamos a darle la traducción a la compañera participante. Nos dice George, que sí existen prioridades en temas de salud mental, pero todo, como lo hemos venido manifestando en el webinar, depende de cuál es el objetivo que usted necesita o que quiere para realizar la propuesta. ¿Quiere publicar artículos, crear algún software? Todo esto depende mucho para que guíe bien la propuesta. Sí, en salud mental están enfocados también en Horizon Europe, pero también existe la posibilidad de que vea opciones, al menos en esta rama en la que usted se dedica, en el proyecto Erasmus, que sería una una buena opción. En definitiva, todo depende de las necesidades y de las prioridades que el Consejo de Europa necesita y que va a estar sujeto a financiar. Pero la propuesta personal de George es que se enfoquen en salud mental, al menos proyectos con ERC, lo que tiene que ver con toda la potencialización de lo que tiene que ver con la imagen cerebral y cómo ésta puede eh, utilizarse para mejorar la salud mental de la población.
Muchísimas gracias.
Creo que no hay más comentarios. Eh, Más bien agradecerle a George y a Orlando. Ahora vamos a la parte final. Invitamos a Andrés Gutiérrez de RECID para que nos dé unas palabras sobre este webinar.
Muy buenos días, Kevin, y un gusto con todos y todas. Felicitarles por este espacio que pudieron tener justamente en el marco de Horizonte Europa. Creo que es un trabajo muy importante que estamos realizando. Para nosotros es un gusto estar acompañando y apoyando todos estos procesos. Creo que es muy importante, sobre todo en este contexto actual, estar trabajando en red. Creo que eso es clave de manera conjunta, estar apoyando todos los trabajos que estamos realizando. Incluso este es un primer ejercicio que nosotros estamos realizando y esperemos que se puedan realizar y replicar en otros territorios de aquí en el país, ¿no? Que creo que es una fuerte necesidad que tienen las distintas organizaciones para poder acceder a Horizonte Europa y a sus distintas modalidades y mecanismos de cooperación. Entonces, de nuestra parte, un gusto seguir apoyando y esperemos replicarlo en otros contextos. Felicitarles por este ejercicio y que tengan un excelente resto del día. Eso por mi parte, estimado Kevin. Un saludo a todos y todas.
No, muchísimas gracias. Muchas gracias a Orlando por el apoyo en la traducción. A George, thank you for your time. We're really pleased with this event. We hope we can organize some other more in the coming future. So thank you all for your time. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.